Variety says deals, Mason.
Okay.
The Russo brothers are apparently being paid for returning to the Avengers franchise $80 million for 2 pictures.
Now, you know I'm going to ask this.
Yeah.
Do they mean each?
Okay, so it's $80 million between them, which presumably means $20 million each for the movies.
Okay, so it's $80 million total for 2 movies divided amongst the Russo brothers. Mm-hmm. Okay. And now assuming they've got a 50-50 split. Because we don't know that.
Oh, yeah, we don't know.
We don't know that for sure.
God, do you think Marvel are like, fuck, 2 blokes, that sucks. Why do we employ 2 dudes? They could have put one on one movie and one on the other.
Oh, that's true.
And then like pit the fandom against them.
Yeah.
There's other ways you could have done
But then what if
this.
the big reveal is one of the Russo brothers has been carrying the other Russo
I know,
brother,
that's the fun
and
of it.
one's awful and one's really good. And they're like, oh no.
One always lies and one always tells the truth.
They're like, Doomsday is really good. And then they're like, and then they see the other Russo brother just falling over pieces of film equipment. And they're like, oh no, and he's filming the last one. Oh no, he's the bad one. Oh no. And the last one's going to be bad.
We're going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah.
This doesn't include back-end compensation, but it does contain performance escalators that kick in at the $750 million and $1 billion threshold.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah. This will hit $1 billion.
Yeah.
There's no way that the first one, at the very least, isn't going to hit $1 billion.
Absolutely.
It's just going to happen.
Yeah. They could even put the bad Russo brother on it.
They should.
Still make $1 billion.
They should do that.
Yeah.
That's probably if there is a bad one, you do the bad one first, don't you?
You do, yeah.
Or no, you do the good one first, and then people show up for the next one.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. So you
say no refunds.
That's right.
You say Infinity War, no refunds.
That's how everybody got to Rebel Moon Part 2, and then the director's cut,
Yeah.
which is apparently long and bad.
Yeah, I've read a
from
couple
the
of reviews, yeah.
So I watched it, and I know you watched it.
No.
I didn't watch it. I know you didn't watch it.
No.
The brothers also will produce under their Agbo banner. Marvel this is their own production company, which is interesting because Marvel typically doesn't do outside producers or not anymore. It's all in-house. And one of the reasons also why they're back is Robert Downey Jr. said that they're the only 2 that he will work with.
Interesting.
Which means they probably do a lot of cool green screen stuff that he can
skip out on. Yeah. Yeah. Probably, yeah.
Now, in terms of Robert Downey Jr., he's apparently getting more than $80 million. And there's probably back-end deals. That's him alone. There's not 2 of him.
It said something. It didn't. I can't remember the phrasing, but it wasn't. It was
in excess.
In excess of $80 million, or a minimum of $80 million, something like that.
And then there would be like if it's $1 billion, etc. He'd get 10% or 5% or whatever it is. Also, it's filled with perks that include private jet travel, dedicated security, and a whole trailer encampment. None of that is particularly surprising.
No, I mean,
I imagine he had a lot of that on the other ones as well.
Yeah. I mean, does he need private security, or wouldn't a Marvel production have a lot of security?
Yeah, I think
anyway?
it's just part of that anyway.
Yeah.
While the Russo brothers' previous 2 Avengers movies shot in Atlanta, the new outings will be filmed in London and will begin in the second quarter of 2025.
All right.
So that's what's happening. He doesn't want to hang out in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which is probably fair enough. I don't know. I've never been there. They probably filmed Arrow there.
I very much doubt that.
They probably filmed Arrow in Vancouver, actually.
I imagine they filmed some of the TV show Atlanta in Atlanta.
Oh, that makes sense,
I mean, there's no guarantee, is there?
We don't know.
That's true.
Some of it was in Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that season yet. I should go back to it.
Anyway, here's the question for everybody.
Is it worth it?
Is anybody worth $80 million for 1 or 2 movies?
No.
Interesting.
How do you? I mean, it's been a week since we've had the announcement. I know you've had some time to break your foot.
Yeah.
Has it given you any more insight into whether this is a good or a bad thing?
Yeah, I've thought about it, and ouch, my foot hurts.
Sure, okay.
But only when I do that.
Yeah, but it might not be broken.
It might not be.
Yeah, okay.
No. I mean, it is absolutely the case. I'm looking at it from an angle of not like, well, is he worth it? Because if they're bringing him back and it's a guaranteed return of.
Then financially it is.
Financially, of course it is. But it's like, is anybody really worth?
Yeah.
And if his agent can negotiate that. But again, a couple of months ago when there was a strike on.
Yeah.
Every head of production was like, we're broke. We can't afford any of this.
Yeah.
We can't afford to pay writers. We can't have a writer's room.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm going to have to crash one of my boats for the insurance money.
Right.
God.
I'm going to have to get my chauffeur to crash my boat.
He'll die. That's on you.
Yeah, I'll miss that guy, and it's your fault. I don't know, man. I mean, but it's also...
Is it exciting to you, though? How about from that perspective? Because I think he'll probably turn in an interesting performance.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he always does. He's always very good in what he...
Yeah. And I'm
No,
not,
he's-
and
yeah,
I'm
he
not,
is.
and I'm not paying that $80 million. I'm
you're
probably
paying
paying $20.
$20 on the day.
$20
Or
on
less
the-
if we go to the premiere.
Or even less.
The Melbourne premiere. Everyone settle down.
Yeah. Or slightly less if I get some points.
Oh, yeah.
Some village points.
I get some village points,
know.
mate. Yeah.
The thing that that maybe has come up in the discourse this week, though, about this is like, if you've got $80 million, maybe you should pay some of the guys that created some of the characters in these movies. You know what I mean? And I know everybody's going to be like, well, it's
The original contract
to work for hire, blah, blah. But I think when a lot of people, when people made these movies and when people created these characters in the 60s and 70s and 80s and what have you, I don't think they were predicting a multi-billion dollar movie franchise.
And everybody who's getting money, and it's
Yeah.
mostly the studio
Yeah,
or
yeah.
executives, what the fuck did they do? They didn't have a hand in
Yeah.
the original creation of it.
I remember, and look, Hugh Jackman seems like a very nice guy.
He does.
But I remember that at one point
you hate him.
I do hate him. I had a vivid memory this week. There's a video of him. I think he's on stage at a Comic-Con, and he's there with Len Wein, who's one of the guys who created Wolverine. And he's like, "I owe my career to this guy.
Yeah.
Look at this guy." And everybody's big cheer, and I'm sure it's a very very
Len Wein.
nice moment. But then I'm like, it would have helped him $1 million.
Yeah.
When you got $25 million for X-Men Origins Wolverine, maybe peel off $1 million, give it to that guy.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Maybe he has, Mason.
I mean, he's dead now.
Yeah, but maybe he did.
Maybe he did. I don't think he did.
Maybe he threw it into his grave.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
His open casket.
Yeah, maybe he threw some Wolverine merch into his grave.
Yeah, man. Look, I don't disagree. Who was it this week that said they wanted their name up higher and creating Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh,
or
it
something?
was. Don't tell me.
I won't tell
Roy
you.
Thomas.
Okay, yeah. He was was he the co-creator? I can't remember.
Oh, it's argued that he didn't do anything to create Wolverine.
Oh my God.
He was like Stan Lee's protege.
Okay.
So he's got a little bit of that to him.
Yeah,
a little
okay.
bit of that razzle dazzle.
Well, this guy should get nothing. This guy, I don't really know how he contributed.
Yeah.
God bless him. Yeah, all right, cool. That's fun. Look, I
fun.
as I've said before, this decision, I mean, it is for the fans, I guess, but it is more for getting general audiences in. Because if you want to make $2 billion,
Yeah.
you need everybody. You don't just need people like us. And
Yeah. What's interesting as well is this will be a interesting test of, are people going to come to this for Robert Downey Jr. or do they only like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that, or is this a lock no matter what? Are two more Avengers movies $1 billion each, $2 billion each, no matter what?
Yeah.
Or is it like, no, we need good word of mouth?
Word of mouth. Yeah.
Word of mouth. I think they should call them Avengers 5 Deadpool and Avengers 6 Deadpool again.
That's probably a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.